All right, sports fans, welcome to another wonderful episode of In the Tunnel Sports Podcast. I am your host, Nicole with the K and the Y, and I am here with my wonderful host, Patrick the Truth Truesdale.
What's going on, H-Town? We got to hold it down. We know we're going through it, but we're going to get through this.
All right, and our special guest co host, former tight end coach at Texas Southern, who is now a counselor, Mr. Raymond James.
My
How you
man.
doing, everybody?
What's up, coach?
Hey there. Glad to be on the show.
Man, appreciate you coming, man. Appreciate you coming.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, sports fans, this episode will be a little bit short, yet it'll be very impactful. It's a little bittersweet. First of all, we want to say that we want to dedicate this show to Mr. Jacoby Jones.
No doubt.
And talk about that a little bit. And we're also going to talk about the passing of JELLYBEAN Bryant and his relationship with his son.
Right.
So I need you sports fans to like, share, comment, tune in on all our social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Did I miss any?
No.
I think that's about it. You know, all of them are In the Tunnel Sports Podcast.
Twitter coming soon.
Twitter coming soon. All right, guys. So as you know, Mr. James, we like to make sure we pay our bills on time.
Yes.
So this episode is brought to you by the Overstreet Law Firm. Facing a legal storm, unsure where to turn? When you want your criminal case dismissed, there's only one name to remember: Brian E. Overstreet, the bow tie lawyer. From minor charges to serious allegations, Brian Overstreet is the answer when the odds seem stacked against you. With 25 years of experience and a track record of success, Brian is the defender you need in your corner. Remember, when you're in legal trouble, don't stress. Just call the bow tie lawyer at 281-820-4LAW and let the Overstreet Law Firm fiercely defend your rights.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So we're going to start this episode with the segment on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And on this segment, this is when we have, I don't want to call them necessarily fallen soldiers because they're usually athletes and stuff like that, but just want to give a little homage. And this is a special dedication. So how do you want to start? I don't even know how to start. I wrote a lot of stuff, but I just, I know this is somebody that you know and love and close to, Jacoby. So maybe just kind of, these are all the facts and stuff, and stuff like that. He, was with the Texans and the Ravens and the Super Bowl and stuff.
Yeah. Made big
so
plays in Super Bowl.
Talk about him.
And knowing Coach, like I said, Coach James over there, Raymond James, had a great relationship with him too. We both did. And, I got the call from one of my boys, coach at UNLV, Coach Moss. And he said, hey, because he remembered working my camp back in my HBCU camp back in 2019. And he said, man, I saw online Jacoby died, man. He was cool. I said, what? It shocked me. So I called a good friend of mine, Ferry, played with him with the Texans. And he said, yeah, they finally tried to wake him up Saturday morning. We couldn't get him up. He died in his sleep. Because my understanding he was in Atlanta, and I think he went to New Orleans to his hometown to celebrate his birthday because he just turned 40,
Oh, wow.
But that's tough. That's tough in the community. I mean, he's a guy that was the life of the party. He could party by himself. He could be a one-man party. He could just like lit the room up when he worked the camp. A lot of kids they loved him, and he was just a funny guy, man. And he was just the life of the party. Very outgoing. And was a lot of people giving him props, how good of a coach how good of a player he was, but he was a hell of a coach.
Oh, yeah.
And we all got to pray for his son, his family. His mom was a sweet lady, but his son too, because it's tough growing up without your father, and he died at an early age because they were close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Jacoby. Little Jacoby was Big Jacoby's shadow. That was his heart, and that was his shadow. He loved his dad. He loved his son. And man, it's tough when it happens so quick. It just caught me off guard. And Coach Raymond James, I know you and him had a good relationship bond, and you was close. You grew up with his coach.
Yeah, I got the call from you actually when it happened, and I couldn't believe it. I hadn't been in touch with Jacoby in a while, and just been seeing him on Facebook and just following him around the country. And he did good things and touched so many good people. Man, I tell you, it was incredible. But when he came from Lane, I think it was back in '09. As soon as he got drafted, he came and got drafted to the Texans. His head coach at Lane was our head coach at Texas Southern, which is my best friend Johnny Cole, and they had a father-son relationship, and Jacoby wouldn't have it no other way. You know, he said that coach was like a father figure to him, and he taught him a lot of stuff. Actually taught him how to be a man. He said, and he spoke highly of Coach Cole, and he was his number one guy. You know, and he came around the campus a lot, and helped us run our summer camps, and he just was really influential in showing them other young guys that was in college how to grow up and how to be a football player, how to be a student, and how to be how to carry themselves. You know, that was the main thing that Coach Cole wanted him to do.
Yeah,
to do that.
Yeah, because the crazy thing, Nicole and Coach, when he was at my camp, he was coaching at Lang at the time in 2019 HBCU, Vice Press HBCU camp, and he would tell the kids, "Hey, it don't matter where you go, it's what you do." You know what I'm saying? And he got drafted. What was that? 07? What year we got the job? There was like 07.
I got here in 08. Yeah. So 07 into 08 when he got drafted. Yeah.
Yes, I remember him getting on the map because they had an All-Star game down there in Houston. That really got him on the map. He tore it up. And you know, he's letting them know. I mean, he had his first coming out party in preseason game, running them punts back. And you know, when you pigeon toe, you slow or you fast. That ball was tall, bow-legged, and pigeon toe. It could run, you know. And you know, and I remember him telling the boy because he was at, like I said, he was at Lane at the time because he left Lane, went up there with my man Tyrone Wheeler, went back to Baltimore, coached at Morgan State. Then last year he coached at Rob at Alabama State. You know, but like I said, the boy was entertaining. He was a life of the boy. I mean, it just cracked me up when he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Speaking of that,
that was comical. He said he was just having fun.
Yeah, and they came in third, I believe.
Yeah,
they made it to the final.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Jacoby, him coaching is one thing because he always wanted to coach, but he really could have made a career to me broadcasting or acting.
He could have did all that.
He could had Lifetime commercial because he was that hilarious,
and charismatic.
Yeah, you know, and when he won that Super Bowl, oh man, he ran that pump back. He beat my team because he was messing with me. Because I was texting that week, y'all ain't gonna beat us, man. They said, but he ran that pump back. I was happy for him, you know. And I mean, he, like I said, he was really, really good. Like I said, he loved his son, good father, but he was really good with the kids.
Oh yeah.
He really good.
He said in an interview earlier, I think probably last year, with Coach Green was on our coaching staff that he won all the championships except a coaching championship.
Yep.
I didn't know he played basketball. He won a championship down there in
Lane. Yeah, because I didn't know I knew he ran track. That's what he's known for track.
Yeah, he got with state. Then he won that. They won some kind of championship at HBCU championship with Lane. Lane won a basketball championship.
Right. But see, because I remember Johnny was telling me, Coach Cole was telling me that he really went on full scholarship. He's like, he can understand this is the best player on the team. Why he not on full what they were doing here? So he made sure he put him on that full scholarship and everything.
After that, he put him on that full scholarship. And
right.
Then, but he had to work. So that's where his work ethic came in. He said he was always the odd man out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that really good at school. He said, but he he had to get it. He had to get it for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did read that with the first high school he went to, they had told him he was too small to play, and then someone in his family played for the other school, and then he transferred and went over there and playing.
Because the crazy thing, I think his mama passed out when he got drafted. She couldn't believe it. I think Jacoby's mom passed out when he got drafted. She couldn't believe it.
He said he was doing
that New Orleans, that jujitsu. Yeah, she fell out. Because that boy didn't forget where he come from. He loved H-Town, but he loved New Orleans. Because, boy, when you put that New Orleans music on, he going to dance by himself. I say he was a one-man party. But I mean, in that whole room, he was in bound. Don't put no Juvenile in, Cash Money in. Oh, man, he going to tear the dance floor. Master P in. Oh, he going to dance. That big old tall boy could dance. I remember Santana and them had something called right across the freeway, man. What was that place? It closed down. Joe Crab Shack And Santana Dawson used to do his fundraiser down there.
Mhm.
Oh man, I think his first. Oh man, he just told when they played that New Orleans music, you couldn't get him off the dance floor.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk to you a little bit about, and as you were saying, we were talking about the good times, and I think that's one of the aspects about grief. So, as you all say, he touched a lot of, people and stuff and did things for people. So even though they may not have been family or, real close or neighbors or something like that, he still had an influence on people and an impact on people. So even from that level, what are good ways for people to deal with grief from, his son, which is very impactful, right? All the way down to somebody who was just, a kid at the camp, and he listened to him and been watching him, and all of a sudden,
he was carrying the playbook and scout book with him.
Because they're still going to carry grief.
Well, I think, with grief, a lot of people tend to want to forget and don't want to say nothing about the person that's passed away because they don't want to really hurt nobody's feelings. But it's important that you still keep them in conversation. And if you feeling some certain kind of way, express yourself. You can't be afraid to cry and show your emotions, and then you get yourself together because you can't nobody tell you how to grieve, and that's a big part of it. And people always say, "Well, man, you've been grieving." No, you can't tell me how and when to grieve and how long I need to grieve because it's to each his own. And all we can do on the outside is just support them and make sure that they talk about the issue that comes up and just be right there for them. And I just advocate talking about it, and keeping that person in memory, in conversation. If you think about them, talk about them. Right. It always helps that way. It helps.
Yeah.
And probably doing some of the things that he talked about. Not just talking about it, but also actively doing the things that he said. You know what I'm saying? So it's not in vain. He wasn't just saying anything.
He's putting it to work.
Right. Because you talk to anybody that had any kind of relationship with him, whatever relationship they had with him. Everybody got a story to tell, a funny, fun story to tell. And that's what you call a good person, a good outgoing, because he was very outgoing. And so it's just so much to talk about. Like when I, said he was on Facebook, I said he was the life of the party. He had the whole room laughing. And one of my boys, Kalu, got on and said, man, you talking about somebody had me and my wife laughing. He was just like, they first met. Because when you meet him, I remember at the TSU, they had the SWAC championship. I think Texas Southern won it that year. They beat Alabama and them. That was the year they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. He was on the floor. It was in the Alexa room. And I remember my boy, Parrish Murphy, and I met him, and his son met him. And that's all they talked about when we left on the way to our next, when we went after the game, we got something to eat. That's all they talked about was like, man, Jacoby. And then you had, what's his name there? What's the actor name? The guy from Europe. I think he's from Europe, whatever. The guy that him and Beyonce played in. He was at Beyonce Wife.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He was a comedian.
No, he's an actor. You thought you know.
Comedy?
No, he's not a comedy. Nowhere in comedy. The guy he played it. He's from England, I think. Got the accent. He's like the hottest.
The light skin.
Dark brother. I can't think his name.
Not
Idris. Yeah, Idris.
Okay.
Idris is in there. He was in the Lexus that day, and the guy that can't act to me plays as Calvin on Meet the Browns, whatever. Not me, to play be in all the Tyler Perry movies. Those movies he be in because he can't act. Tyler Perry actors. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we're not going
it is had everybody around, all the ladies around him. But Jacoby was in the room, and people was congratulating him, taking pictures with him. But next thing you know, you look up, they all on this side because he had a big old circle going. Because he was hilarious with everybody. Everybody talking how fun and I joking and Parrish and his son. That's all they talked about on the way to our next journey where we were going that day. And that's all they talked about the next day. Man, he was so cool. He was so down there. So that's just what I'm saying. He just down there, he's just being real. With that status, it's very seldom you meet people like that, Nicole. I'm just being real.
Yeah. And so he just lived in someone made a comment, Marcus Moore. And he said, and I agree, there is no good way to handle grief. My dad said, just keep living. That's all you can do.
That's real, Marcus. Appreciate it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true. All right. So, as I said, this is a short show, but very impactful. Yeah. So we want to talk about someone else that just passed away. And that's Joe Bryant, Joe JELLYBEAN Bryant.
Yeah, JELLYBEAN Bryant,
Joe JELLYBEAN.
Joe JELLYBEAN Bryant, straight out of Philly, streets of Philly.
The late basketball Hall of Famer, Kobe Bryant, and he passed away Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so a little bit about him, he spent like 8 seasons in the NBA, and unbeknownst to me, until I researched, and you told me that he also played for the Rockets.
Yes.
He was picked up by Golden State in 1975. That was the year I was
Wow.
born. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
So
I've
add it
been
up.
here for a little while.
He-
75. I was here for a minute.
He played 4 years with the 76ers, 3 years with San Diego Clippers, and again, like I said, for the Houston Rockets. And then from there, he went on to do international career and stops in France and Italy. And then that's where Kobe, picked up the language and, the love for basketball and stuff like that. So he did, had a couple of stints in coaching and stuff like that. So I know you kind of want to talk about him and things with him and his son and just
Joe was 69 years old. He's a bad boy. He was a baller. I just remember him growing up. I remember JELLYBEAN looking at the local Rock. The Rockets played them road games and on Channel 3920 to show the games. I remember JELLYBEAN because that was my favorite candy growing up. So that's how I became remembering him and being a little fan of him. Because like I said, at the end he spent most of his career overseas. But came back to Philly, got settled, and that's when Kobe came. I think Kobe was like 8th grade.
Yeah,
he came back.
When he came back
to Philly.
Then he was here with the Rockets for what a year, almost 2 years.
Yeah, it was when Kobe was small. Yeah, he was here.
Then they went overseas.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did a good job raising him because Kobe was a different youngster when he got drafted straight out of high school.
He was worldly already though.
Worldly already. Yeah, because his dad and you playing in LA. LA is a different place.
Yeah.
Well, Kobe used to sit in this room. He never really went out. Some of the old guys tried to get him out. Old guy, he's too young, so he'd be in there watching videos. His next opponent, watching Jordan and everything. It was times that the little free time he had, he would go out to UCLA and just sit in the parking lot because he knew that's the level he's supposed to be on, being in college and everything. And I just remember when he met his wife at a Snoop Dogg video. And I think she's one of the dancers or something. And next thing I think they get married 8 months later. And next thing you know, the whole family just explode.
You switch.
It just and I can understand his parents trying to tell him, but then at the same time, you do have to understand that regardless how fast he got married, it happens, and you got to go ahead and accept it. Now it's a lot of dysfunctional stuff, and I know Coach James, I know you work with a lot of different things, being a counselor and everything, and I just look at it like this. They really should have got that together because I know they was in the news, his mom and dad, about some money problems and everything. And I heard the girl wasn't giving them that, and it just so open. And I know Kobe wasn't speaking to his parents because you just can't disown your parents. Because if it wasn't for your parents, you wouldn't be here. But parents got to understand too, though, they live their family. They have their own new family, regardless how it go down. But you have to accept that,
and you raise them for that. And then you can't double back on what you raised them to do. So you can't raise them to be able to, I'm raising you to be a nice young man, respectable young man, and then you take care of your family. And then when you get your family, however you do in your family, then I want to step in and try to control your family. You can't do that. You can't do that.
And with all them problems, I don't know what was going on in his personal life for us as help, but first thing come to my mind, did the stress help do that? Them going through financial, you still, it's not like my mom said, it's not like, my grandmother said it wasn't nothing. It's nothing like, you lose your mom and dad is one thing.
Oh, yeah.
But when you lose your child,
it's tough.
and then you lose your grandchild with it. And I know a lot of that added up with their personal stuff going on. And you would be surprised that have a lot to do with his death. And I know, Nicole, I can ask you the same thing because I know what your mom do. Same thing, that could really. Do you think it'd be effective?
Oh, no question. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, I'm not clinical, legal or like that anything, but I do know, I am raised around, and I do know that stress is the number one killer.
Ain't no question.
Oh, no
you
doubt.
know what I'm saying? And people don't realize that, to relieve stress, you really don't need anything but to breathe. That's all you need to do is breathe, and get out of your head for a little bit and get to nature and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't realize that stress can also cause stuff, even cancers and stuff like that in your body. And I wouldn't be surprised either.
I think what happened to Joe is that accident with his kids, and also the outside pressures, man, on you as him being JELLYBEAN, him being Kobe's dad. They probably thought that he ought to be living a certain way.
Right.
And that's
something.
He's hearing all that noise in his ear, man. Why your son ain't taking care of you? Why your son ain't doing this? But you can't on the outside looking in, you can't tell what's going on in somebody else's immediate family.
Yeah, because what's crazy is he was working for this agency. I had a friend work for an agency out of LA, and him and JELLYBEAN spent time together because they would train the basketball players, whatever agency they were working with. And he used to tell me, I guess they must spoke in spurts, like every now and then.
Oh yeah.
And so one day he was just excited like a kid. Me and my son gonna hang out today. He was all excited about it. And I'm like, he said, man, it's just, you'd be amazed. And I remember some of the things he told. I just forgot that this was years ago. But he was just saying that it ain't what you think it is. And this is a trouble goes behind the scenes because it get to a point where, you know, your parents can ban you. And then they can't talk to you now. When your kids ban you, you can talk to them on their hands, especially when you don't have to, they don't need you anymore. And sometimes parents have to get back and let the kids do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't control them, especially when they have money. And then when they have a daughter, especially when they have a son, in their life, and they marry that girl, you can't. And then some women like this, he's gonna take care of me. I did everything, and that man gonna still take care. But you can't rely on that. You can't, because you still have to live your life. I mean, you still have, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna win, because what a woman got, and you try to fight that against your son, it's undefeated. That's one team ain't gonna never win. And I remember talking to TJ Ford about him a long time ago, and his mom and his dad. And TJ made a lot of money. TJ was good with his money. And I remember her saying that they still work. It's like, well, I got a retirement coming. Dad, why you go? People, I don't understand. Think you gonna live off that? You know what I'm saying?
You can't do it. And I think that Kobe was in a big market, in the LA market, and then there's New York, and then there's the Boston market, and in the sports. And those are some of the biggest markets in sports.
No doubt.
But when he was getting pulled a couple different ways too. So a lot of times he really didn't have time. I mean, he thought he had to enough hours in a day sometime, man.
And then you never know who he listens, because he gonna listen to other people. Other people gonna talk to other people, getting their ear.
No question. Yeah. Enough hours in a day sometime when you a big star like Kobe. He was pretty big. Especially in LA, he was big.
And his wife, and just her alone going through that, she's going to do all kinds of good. Like TMZ was wrong when he died, and how they contact her first. Yeah. They told her, the LA community, the police chief said, don't tell his family, let us tell them. And they gonna text the girl. They're gonna come on, man, you know. And then she has a lot of problems. She having a lot of problems with her mother, because mother stayed with them. And I guess she was so used to being catered to every day. Yeah, her mother made stay with them, but she was just like, because women sometimes they can't live together. Yeah. So her mother was like, Mom, finna go buy your house. Yeah. I'm like, this movie ain't it, man. She getting mad at her. Next thing you know, she trying to sue her daughter now. But I think it's just that money. The more money, the more problems.
When she came from, I think she came from not being raised with her dad.
Yeah, she had a stepdad.
She felt obligated to take care of her mom, but then it just got too heavy. It got too
heavy. Well, the thing is, they kind of dissed the stepdad. You understand he was a good man, took care. It's a lot of this, like I say, dysfunctional, like we talked about there.
Functional dysfunction.
It don't matter how much you got, what you have. Because matter of fact, the more money, the more problems. Like Biggie said, we talked about that a couple of weeks, and that's why they having it's crazy. Yeah. It's just sad to see, and then you got grandkids, spend time with your grand. So that's a sad situation. The only thing we can do is pray.
That's it.
Yeah, pray for that.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna switch up a little bit, and it seemingly initially was kind of funny, but then the more I thought about it, it got kind of a little serious. So I want to talk about Truesdale, 4-time Grammy Award nominated country singer Ingrid Andress. All right, she was slammed for the worst national anthem ever before MLB, home run derby in Texas.
Home run derby,
on Monday. And so she was singing the song a cappella and everything like that, and they called it painful. Okay. Ooh. And so when I saw it, I woke up to it, and I just heard just a couple of few, and I couldn't even do it. I'm very patient. I'm very tolerant, but that morning I wasn't doing it, and so I kind of laughed about it. And then you had called me, we had talked about it and stuff. And then it wasn't until I researched further and realized that she was drunk.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And so then she apologizes. She says, I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB and the fans and this country I love so much for that rendition. And then she added, I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. And so that's what caught me, was like, oh, this is serious. because again, my mom's in counseling, so
Right.
you're a counselor.
Right.
That when someone says rehab is super fun, they're being sarcastic,
Right.
which that's a you know,
You're
a
not
block,
taking
a
it
shield,
serious.
you know,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
defense mechanism, and really it's a humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in rehab, if you're in the right place, you have to what's the word, like
You have to
the
get
truth is
inside
best
yourself.
served
Yeah.
cold.
Yes, sir. You gotta
You
get
know,
inside
whatever that
yourself.
truth is, you have to go have an understanding of yourself of why you're using this coping mechanism. Because as again, we talked about grief and different things when people go through traumatic experiences or grief, you know, because there's different types, that they choose a coping mechanism that may be something like alcohol. So as I'm looking at this and I'm telling the truth, they're like, who was with her? What kind of management did she have that
To let her go
allowed
out there.
her to get just blasted like that?
Some yes people,
Yeah.
either yes man or
Yeah.
yes woman.
Yeah.
So
Yes
that's
circle.
pretty deep.
That's
Yeah.
pretty, yeah.
You
And
know?
and she probably sown drunk before and did good and thought she could do it again, and probably had too many shots or whatever, too many martinis, and thinks she can go out there and couldn't do it.
But
I
it wasn't
mean,
on that stage.
nah, it wasn't
singing
on
in
that
the stadium
stage.
like that, when it echoes like that.
Yeah.
I talked to some singers, and it's big.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
some of these stadiums like the NRG
Yeah.
got an echo. You
You
know what I'm saying?
sing, and then
Yeah.
you hear
Yeah. I mean, the girl sounds so bad. She came close because she came, and that's bad. She came close because Carl Lewis still got the worst. Him and Michael Jordan's sister, both. Michael Jordan's sister
Yeah, she
in the
she
car.
she
No,
She
Michael
she
Jordan.
didn't take the-
Carl Lewis couldn't even remember the words. And and then Michael Jordan's sister got up there. And Jordan, that was the most embarrassing moment. Michael Jordan, all of a sudden, she was singing all night.
They didn't do it for a living though.
Yeah, no, you know
She
what?
did it for
She
a
did.
living.
Yeah, that makes the
Yeah,
difference.
that's true.
If I'm just getting up and I'm just singing the
Yeah,
national anthem,
and some
yeah.
people ain't gifted to do certain things because some people like Marvin Gaye think he did the best and he was high as a kite, but he could do it. He's gifted. He got all that boy.
You're right about that.
He was top one. You know, my favorite one, ain't no telling what she was on. She tore it up. And she give me chills. Feel like I was playing at that Tampa Super Bowl in 1991. Whitney Houston. That was the best one.
Yeah.
I listen to that just on the regular
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
I ain't really a
yeah.
big national. I'm like, but moving. Yeah, but to me, it's like she think it's a joke. She think it's playing. It's like she has a lot of growing up to do. She don't realize how embarrassing it is. I don't give a damn how many people out there trying to take up for her and say this and say that, but this is serious. You know, my thing is if she would have been regardless is black country singer, white, what they would have said. How people are about the national anthem. Not trying to make this a racial thing, but I'm just saying, but that's embarrassing. And America's supposed to be about that song Frankie Scott wrote. I mean, what, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing, Nicole.
Right. And we're talking about the national anthem, and we're talking America's #1 sport.
Because because my thing is, how you ever feel about a man, you know, in his knee? But all of a sudden this girl sing the song drunk like that.
Right. And you know, not well in the entertainment business, you know,
Yeah.
one of the things like in film, you know, when we're on set, it's like what you do before you get there. You know, I can't do anything about when we're on set, no alcohol, you know, those kind of things. And I work with a lot of comedians, and a lot of comedians, you'll see them before they do their set, they have a you know, water and stuff in their hand. They may take a shot, but most of the time when they professional, they have water with them because they're up there and it's hot and you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then afterwards, well, that's a whole different story. You know,
some people get drunk, tell better stories.
But
it's how far you go.
And I want to say that too because I knew a comedian. That's what he said. When he was drinking, he would be funny. You know what I'm saying? And so the more he drank, he got funny. But then it got to a point like with anything else, you overdo it, and then you know he did pass from alcoholism. But you know it's about that coping mechanism. So let's talk about that a little bit about grief and finding healthy coping mechanisms, because anything, you know, even if you say like, okay, well maybe exercise, but if you do too much of that could become a problem. So talk to us a little bit about that.
You have to find a couple of coping skills that you can use in the time of your grief. Whether it be, like I say, I like to keep my people talking, because communication is the key, and you don't want them to get quiet on you. But you should be able to go for a walk. You should be able, like you said, do some exercise. You should be able to write. You could journal. There's a few other things you can do. They got some stress balls that you can use. They have a lot of different things that you could use for to channel your energy, because you need it. It's a release. If it don't come out, one way or another. Like I like to tell my kids, you end up kicking a wall, or
It comes
punching
out
a
in
wall.
anger.
It's gonna come out in anger.
Mhm.
So if you don't talk about it, that's why I say I like to keep them talking. Because if it ain't coming out through your mouth, it's gonna come out, and it might not be good. It's never good when it comes out that way. But that's tough to deal with. It's really tough to deal with. She's got a long road. If she's looking at going into it, laughing and
As a joke.
giggling as a
Yeah,
joke,
yeah.
she got a long because she's gonna have to go inside herself and see if this is what she really wants to do. Because that rehab, it's a test.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Definitely,
test, man.
definitely.
And they got the money to go to the big time
but,
ones.
you can't go there messing around.
No.
You go there serious because they ain't playing. And she's gonna be away from her drug of choice or whatever for a while. She's gonna go through her withdrawals and see how she acts when she gets back to her normal self. Because there's a lot of stuff that they probably ain't even cutting into that she's hiding from.
Right.
And that's a lot of the situations when you impaired or you impair your behavior, you hiding from something. So you need to get one-on-one with that situation and get yourself together first.
Right. And I definitely agree because, like I said, she's a 4-time Grammy-nominated country.
Yeah.
So, most people on the outside, she got it made. But it's
Yeah.
just like people are, no matter what, like you said,
Yeah.
people are still humans. And it could be something from when she was 8 years
Yeah,
old or
we don't
something that
know.
happened when she
We
first
don't know. They're
signed.
gonna break her down.
Fighting them demons.
And stuff
She
like
fighting
that.
them. She
And
fighting
then
them.
she has to get to the point, not only just rehab, okay, I feel better, but now you got to get back out there and sing, and the pressure's back on you. So what are you going to do now when take this pill? Right. What are you going to do now to,
we don't know what kind of household she grew up in because our parents could have been alcoholics,
Maybe
mom
so.
and dad.
Maybe so.
And then that's what they so used to.
Yeah, kids.
And the kids, and they get to drinking early.
Yeah.
Remember that Good Time episode? When the girl got
Hey.
we let her have a drink. We let her, and that's how the kid was. Some people let their kids have a drink. That was so true because that happens to a lot of families. They let their kids have drinks on special occasions, and then they turn it.
They have dinner with wine.
Yeah.
But the difference is they know how to.
And they got heart. But you have some people in certain races let them drink, and they get to drink because she said, "Yeah, they let me drink it."
So it's a difficult thing she's got to go through.
Like once again, I pray for her. Hope she get it together because other than that, people gonna be like, look, don't be embarrassed in the country singing our song like that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, as we said, we have a short show, but before we go, we have to do the Truth Tunnel with Truesdale. All right. So, Truesdale, yesterday you posted a video of what's his name, Paul
Feinberg.
Yeah, Paul Feinberg.
And
he had opinion on Deion leading Colorado to the CFP during the tenure and stuff, and if not all, but much of what he said, you as well, I believe, like H-Town Vic and a couple people, y'all agree with what he was saying, what Paul was saying, that Deion Sanders, he's a great salesman, However, he does not or will not have the patience or just the wherewithal, I guess, if I can say that, to, that's required to lead the team Colorado, you know what I'm saying, to any kind of championship.
But Paul Feinberg was right. He was at the SEC press conference. And what people don't understand is I like Deion. Let's get it twisted. That was one of my biggest heroes growing up. But, as an athlete, but as a coach in person, I'm not a fan of his side things going up there. And everybody think that it's going to be easy for them to win. Everybody think that they going to the playoffs. They're going to have 8 wins, 9 wins. And like he was saying about his son, saying when we play, it's like Super Bowl. And like I love Sador's a good quarterback, but no, it's not like Super Bowl. You won last year. You start off 3-0. You played against some name teams, traditional teams, but don't have it right now. Nebraska, TCU just come out the championship. It wasn't as good like they had last year. I mean, like when they went to the championship, that was a blessing. And you beat your rival and badly beat that. Then after that, it went downhill. Of course, you beat Arizona State. It went downhill after that. They have to win, and it's going to take time. With college football now building. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Deion in this, don't get me wrong, like I was trying to tell people from the beginning, he ain't the only college coach black coach coaching football. Mm-hmm. We got to support all our other black coaches like Coach Freeman, coach up at Maryland and everything. You got my boy, took the job at Syracuse. Shout out to my man too. And, we got to support them. And don't get me wrong, Deion is a hell of a marketing guy. He in his own world. He's doing a great job marketing. You know what I mean? I mean, I think he go bored just thinking about his sons all the time. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not going to be that kind of season. I give him 4 to 5 games, but it ain't that easy. It's all about the trenches. Who you getting in the transfer portal? A lot of these places, they got to go to, you coming to the Big 12. Last year, everybody was saying, man, they going to Pac-12. And Pac-12 was like the toughest conference. And it was. 2 teams down there got in. Now you got to come to the Big 12. I know it's a bunch of offense, but it's hard to win in Lubbock. You got to go to Central Florida. They were young last year. They're going to be real good. My boy, shout out to my old BCP recruiter running back coach there, Cam Martin, straight out of PA. They got probably the best backfield, definitely in the conference, but one in the country. 1,000-yard running back coming back. They got the kid transferred from Toledo. They got a hell of a 1-2 punch. You got to go to KU. KU got the program. KU is rebuilding. KU playing all they putting money in their football program now, and that's one of upcoming programs. Matter of fact, they playing all their home games. They playing all them in Kansas City, the Chiefs Stadium. You know, so they got a little rough road. And the first game they got to play at FBS school, and they playing North Dakota. Now, the key thing is if they spread it out, they can kill them on speed. But if it's a couple of 3-and-outs, North Dakota State is known for upsetting, building programs. And they have these big old huge linemen. They get them boys from upstate in Minnesota to what schools in the Big Ten overlook. And they got Big Ten linemen. And they play smash mouth football. I remember one year they played Kansas State. My boy was coaching up there. They had the ball with 8 minutes and 13 seconds. So a whole quarter. So it's not an easy road. People got to understand that. I understand y'all fans, but come on, let's be real. Let's be real about
it. I think, you know, and me and Pat, we go back and forth about Deion. I think he's in a world where it's all about marketing.
Yeah,
and
I agree. He's great at that.
And the press has him where he's at now. They like to see that, and they really like to see him fall. They can't wait for him to fall. But he's so Pat would say arrogant. I think it's confidence and a lot of confidence. He played with it. He seems to be coaching with it pretty good, and they can't wait to see him fall though. But and he fell last year. But I don't think that he expected more out of himself than I think the press expected him to do. In 4 games in your first season, when you come in, you have to tear down your whole staff. We did it at TSU. We came in there in 2008. They was 4-44 when we got there. Coach Cole, he just turned it into a tryout. We got rid of all the boys, and we made them, even the ones that was on scholarship, we made them turn back around and try out for the team. So we had to build a team from scratch. They was 4-44 when we got there at TSU. And then the first year we won 5 games. Second year we won 7 games. Third year we won the SWAC championship. So it can be done.
Where it takes time, but like Paul Feinberg said yesterday, and I agree with him, he ain't gonna do it at Colorado. He got to get away from Colorado. He got to go somewhere where you got a great logo and you got money, and you got to have that. You got to have that collection team. Colorado ain't got no money for.
Yeah, he did say
but
that.
it's not gonna happen there. You know, they going through money problems already, and you're paying them all the money, but can you pay the players? Can you get the guys in that collection team and all that? So he have to be somewhere like down south. He go back to his alma mater, Florida State. He have a chance of having success.
He don't want to go there.
Well, no. And the point is, he don't want to go there. The point is, they don't want him.
Yeah.
So if they want him, his ass gonna go.
Yeah,
but the thing is, do he really want to coach? You know, because his son coming out, does he really want to be there? So it's gonna take time and build it, especially when you don't have the support and the money behind it. And that's the thing. You gotta understand. I ain't gonna say no names. I was talking to somebody one time, Nicole. They said, "Oh, Deion could do the same thing with them coaches at Tech. They can get the same thing, what they can give at Texas Tech." No, they can't. What this state is about? Give me the top things what this state is about. I'm gonna let you say it. Go ahead and say it. So one day I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, James. So Houston, I'm gonna let you say it. I want you to blab it out. But Houston, to me, transportation sucks. Big as this city is, third or largest city. When you go to New York, you go to DC, you got trains, different places. Them building a train here to Dallas. That's the greatest ideal in the world. But it sucks, but it's going to forever be like that. Because I let you take, like you said, Nicole, what the state is about.
Well, this state is about oil. So
no
you know,
question.
What else?
so you
What
can,
else?
oh, cattle,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
football,
And high
Jesus,
school
you
football.
know, in high school football,
Yeah.
Jesus. So it's like they want these F-150s
Ain't
and
no
stuff
question.
in Texas
Ain't no
and
question.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
and what I'm saying is all these universities around here, it ain't, you know, A&M is known for agriculture school, and all these schools got A&M branch like Texas A&M Kingsville, West Texas A&M, all of them are Texas schools. Then you got UTSA, UT San Antonio,
Branches of the
all
big
of them under the
schools,
umbrella
yeah.
of Texas,
Yeah.
and all them schools is in the same boat,
Same
and they
time.
all got money. Texas
Yeah.
Tech got a guy, young cat played with my boy AT Anthony Terrell, was on me playing at Madison from my hood, and he was telling me about the guy because Texas Tech. They paying they walk-ons. That's what they ain't taking any kind of walk-on. Some kids are turning down FBS schools, and they walking on at Tech. They paying them $2,500 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and a guy is giving the money. He's a come from 3-4 generations of all. This dude ain't number like not even 50. Paying it. That's what you got to deal
It's
with.
money, yeah,
Tell you it's the
yeah.
money.
And
Ain't
you-
nobody gonna
and-
go
and
way
you
up
can't
there.
and you can't go like I said with that NIL money. There's only probably about 2 or 3 people on the team that's gonna be getting that NIL money. And like you said in Colorado, Deion's son happens to be one of them. And
But you're still getting a lot of money when it comes to the
you get a lot of
scholarship.
money. You
And you get them
pension,
pinchment and Pell Grants and all that.
But like we did at TSU, I didn't know how much money flowed through HBCU till I got there. It's a lot of money. A lot of money.
A lot of them steal their money.
But it don't go. It don't go to the right spot.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
And I look and see why even Deion got up out of Jackson State. He did some good things for down there.
He did some great things.
There was a lot of stuff he couldn't even do. He couldn't even touch.
You know what?
Because it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
You know, one thing I like about when he was at Jackson State, he called them out. He called HBCU
Ain't no question.
out.
He told
and
them.
that was the right thing because that president, they needed some money for a new field. Turf grass.
Deion went to get it.
So Deion went and got it.
Sir.
So he's saying come through me because you always got to be a minimum. And it's not about money when you deal with black folks, period. And he's talking about come through me. And then dude tried to go at it with him. But see, here's the thing you got to understand. If I took Nicole and gave her a camera and I tell her, look, I need you to go over here in this corner. I need you, James, to go over here in this corner. And I'm going to go over here. Say we're at University of Alabama where Nick Saban worked there, right? He just left there. And you got students passing by. And they probably nerds that know they go to the game and cheer. But if you ask them who's the president name, who's the football coach name, they gonna know who the football coach name is. Right. And when you big as a football coach, you around the world, you got more power than the president. And HBCUs weren't used to that because if he would have tried to go up again, because he ended up getting fired. They gave him lead absence, and he ended up getting fired. And Deion having that name, you know what I'm saying? And that was stupid because he got what, a $2 million turf grass field Walmart. Then he backed out, and I don't understand this, Nicole, in the SWAC, you got some long bus rides.
A lot of bus
and they need to fly.
Yeah.
Alabama, before FAMU and Bethune got in the SWAC, they would fly to Houston. They fly to certain cities. It don't make sense them kids driving, leaving late at night, their bodies and everything. So he was like, we'll drive 2 hours, but other than that, we need to fly.
That's what we did.
So the university had the budget, but they didn't want to do it. Or they could have put it together.
Well, that money.
But he said, let me go to American Airlines.
Yeah, that money was going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And see, that's where Deion had to use his promotional power, and not money power to get, to get what they needed to get for the school. But them people had the money for the flights.
They had money, they got money for
and it kept money for the flight.
And you can raise money.
Yes, sir.
You got all kind of things. And when the state give you stuff, is what you do with it. Like what Prairie View did down there. Like what Alabama State did down there. Yeah,
you see that money. You see that money.
Where it's going.
And we did. We came in there and built that $1 million stadium over there, man. But it was more to be done.
Alabama State.
TSU.
Well, they sharing that stadium.
Yeah, it was more to be done.
Yeah, but they need to have one on campus.
Yeah,
it's time to put one
and we had a chance to buy that.
Robinson Stadium for $1. That didn't make no sense. They and the crazy thing is U of H offered that more than one time. I don't understand that to this day. That's the most backwards thing.
And then Dr. Rutley came over from
U of H
and came here, and we thought he was going to go ahead and get the stadium. Never got it.
And guess what? What will U of H do? Tear down and build a new. And they had known that ain't a big 28 mile. They could have been.
They could have been using it. They could be using our stadium.
But the crazy thing is that stadium, all you had to do was just gut it out like they did the city did the Coliseum, which they got that long contract with USC. That's why USC ain't built a stadium because their stadium was like they could walk to the stadium. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you could have gutted that out, got the seats out, could have been $1 million press box, could have had suites. That's where you make your money. That's what Prairie View did. They went and got those suites.
You keep them
They're making
homecomings
money.
on campus.
Right.
Keep all your home games on campus. That's where
Yeah.
that's where you get your money at.
Yeah.
For the athletic department.
Because there's quite a few universities have, I think it's 3, have off the field stadium, off campus stadiums. And it's not good. Not at all.
All right, guys. So we are at the end zone. All right. And like I said, this was a short one, but it was very impactful. And before we go, Mr. James, I just would like to ask you, what kind of and you can give your number if you or a website or any kind of information if people want to see counseling with you. But what I want to ask you, what life advice do you have for people in general, and then what advice do you have for people who are going through through Burrow? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had a little bit of damage, but there still was no lights, heat, just all those things, and trying to get back to whatever we consider normal, those kind of things. So what life advice you have to keep people, because so much is going on?
For the people, it's just you gotta stay true to your higher being. Find you somebody that you believe in. A lot of people, you just can't believe in your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ when it's all down. You gotta believe in Him all the time, and stay prayed up, stay around your family, and most of all, you just be a good person to people. Just be a good people person. And my advice is that through this Burrow thing, we in Texas.
Yeah, and more coming.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be. I think a thunderstorm too.
I'm from Ohio, and I was in one of the largest tornadoes that we had in that part of the country. And I moved out here, and I ain't never seen so much water in my life.
Yeah.
So I went to Academy and got me a life jacket.
Okay.
I got that in my trunk.
Stay prepared.
So I'm advised you to get your life jacket.
And everybody got to get some generators. I mean, we mad at Center Point, they all full of it, but let's be real. You got to get a generator and then even get an AC you put in the window. You got to be packed, because it's going to be some more hurricanes. Hot as it is. I hate to say it.
What you can do to
protect yourself.
To protect yourself and protect your family, because Centerport can't do everything.
Nah.
And in the way our government is set up out here with Abbott and how they.
But you know the ignorance thing, Nicole. You know the ignorant thing, Nicole and Coach. They had somebody, I think yesterday was shooting at some Center Point trucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you can't take it out on them.
Well,
that's just like when the COVID came, they was running around trying to jump on agents. You can't take it out on them.
Well, this is where it comes into mental health.
Ain't no question.
Because
Yes.
you're talking about,
Ain't no
if you
question.
look into the people, they may be on medication, they're hot,
No question.
they probably haven't eaten like they normally eat. All those things. Some people are really just very hypersensitive that they just
And these people, workers, are coming away from their families and staying down here to come to help us
out
for months at a time. I mean, it turns into weeks, but then it turns into months. But you got to be a little bit more. We got to be a little bit more.
But you know what's so sad? Last week, Coach, we gave a condolence to the cop died last week.
I've seen that.
Check the story out. 541. They was at a pizza place. I don't know if it was pizza. It was some pizza place, and he went in there, ordered pizza, I guess, for his family. And them people away from home, with even some of their lights off or they lights on, and they trying to serve people because nobody had food on it. So he goes in there, get his pizza, and they like the order, got mad, threw it at him, and started pissing with some of the people.
Wow.
And so some of the people ran out.
the cop was?
No. The guy that killed the guy.
Okay.
Let's get it right now.
Okay.
Say it again. The guy went in there, ordered a pizza. He didn't like his pizza. He didn't like the order. So he threw the pizza at him. That's some mental health stuff. And he pistol whipped them. So they get out, he leaves. One of the workers come out there and get his license plate. So as he get his license plate, he gone, and one of the cop that got killed said, I think I found him. They finally got out the car. Next day, he started shooting at him. And it's sad. Like you said, this mental health thing, it don't make no sense. Over pizza, I don't care. That's serious.
But remember, they did that behind the Popeyes chicken sandwich. It's all mental.
When a lady in Memphis just got killed behind churches, an employee worked there, they got into it. Tomorrow come back and get the lady was outside waiting on the bus and came up and shot the lady.
You might want to ask somebody how they doing. How you doing?
Well, you know
how
what?
you feel?
How you feel?
How
You
you
doing?
feel?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotten away from that.
Right.
Really gotten away
How
from
your day
as a
going?
society.
Yeah.
As a society.
And even employees still got to watch
Yeah.
themselves because they
For
don't.
real.
But still, not intended to be the customers. So they always say the customers right.
Yeah.
Because that girl did that lady like that. And and see, the thing is, you got the mental health problems. You got to go get help because at the end of the day, them judges don't care. That judge said you get no bond. Told that lady, you guys no bond.
And I'm gonna take a step further. So everything we just named, we're dealing with fast food.
No
so
question.
Sometimes, depending on what your condition is and different stuff, and how much fast food you eating, and have you eaten in whatever days that people don't want to believe it, but that fast food
that ain't good.
It ain't good.
It can really affect you.
For your
body.
It ain't good. It ain't good for your body.
So I tell you about them McDonald's fries. I used to love them. They got sugar in them. And I got food poisoning. I said, I knew I need to stop eating that junk, and I did, thank God. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, so we want to thank our special guest.
Yeah, man, come. You know you welcome back this home.
I'm glad you had me on here, man.
Yeah, we got
enjoyed you.
Got some big things going on. We're gonna always be here on Wednesdays, but some other things about to pop off during the season. Definitely gonna want you on there too.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, hey, by the way, tell everybody what part of Ohio you from.
I'm from a little town in Xenia, Ohio, right not too far from Wilberforce, Ohio, at Central State University, but about 15 minutes from Dayton.
Okay.
And I'm right there.
So Dayton, Music City, Ohio is known for funk.
All of it.
And to me, don't get the props.
Never.
But before you get off this app, tell me your favorite funk group.
Ohio Players.
All right. Okay.
Ohio Players.
I can get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to promote my I'm a professional dog.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can get in touch with me at on my cell phone is 713-677-9010. My Facebook is Ray James A1 Dog Training Service, and I train all kind of dogs.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nicole got
I train my dogs. It's with a fly swatter, but they they get in their own cage, And
what about your other friends, your human friends, like Brittany and all the ladies?
They need training too, huh?
Look,
for real.
Okay, we want to keep this a non-violent show. Okay.
That's what you know. But y'all see James a lot on there. Facebook training German show. I said, look at him, think he man's best friend, but he got him. He got him, baby. He
myself a whisperer because people I've come in contact with pits and different things, and I just talk to them.
And it's about it's about how it's a spirit.
It definitely is, and you know what? I'm gonna say, when they come up to you and they sniff because I have small dogs that they can smell. First, I had two female dogs, and they smell it, so it's almost like they know I'm a human, but I'm also a part of their family. That kind of thing.
They're talking loud and cussing and everything around them dogs.
And I don't care what dog it is. All they want to do is be rubbed behind the ears. That's all.
Well, some of them got a mind like a human. And they treat you like you that, and
they can talk.
Yeah. Then sometimes they'll turn on you behind if you just start mistreating them and all kind of things. But but definitely, man. I just want to tell you my favorite group too, though. Back to the funk in Ohio is I got a couple of them. I can't name the Lakeside, Isaac Brothers. My boy Boosie Collins.
Cincinnati.
It just a funk. To me, they don't get. It's a true music. Shirley Miller.
Was that?
Yeah, she's from Toledo. You got my boy Zap.
That's what I said, Zap.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, the Ozzy brothers, the one played the guitar real good. A lot of people don't notice him and Jimi Hendrix were roommates. Jimmy taught him a lot. That's why he played so good.
Wow.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. It's somebody from every part, but them between Dayton and Cincinnati, there's a lot of groups. Like, the OJs from Levert, they from Cleveland.
Yeah.
So they just don't really get a lot of props. Minnesota really just started to get them because they got that Music City, but that funk, is the best music.
It is. It's funk.
That's the real music with the horns and everything. New Orleans, I get respect because they respect for jazz, and we love jazz and traditional music. We created just like funk, but funk just don't. Yeah.
I want to thank you, Pat, for having me.
Oh no, man, come back anytime, man. And in the tunnel, I want to give a shout out to Miss Shantae Baker. It's her birthday, my best friend, birthday tomorrow. So we definitely want to give you a shout out. I know she's gonna get together with her Raiders, Shantae Raiders, and everything. I know, how Esther Raiders on Sanford and Son. So I know they gonna tear the party up because I know her favorite city she go to for her birthday, New Orleans or Vegas. I don't know which one, Houston. So all I'm gonna tell everybody, if you're in New Orleans or you're in Vegas, if you stay in Houston, watch out the next couple of days because the Shantae Raiders, they coming. They gonna turn it up. They gonna party. I know them. So happy birthday, baby girl. And Hope to talk to you soon.
All right, we are out.